I know, choosing a color palette can be frustrating and confusing. But what if I told you that it doesn't have to be? In this video, I am going to show you how I make sure that I select the perfect colors for each painting. Okay, I'm going to show you how I make my decisions when it comes to color. All right? Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. A little smaller. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now you can see on the left, on the right here, you see the Quiller wheel. This was designed by Stephen Quiller, and I like to use this one because it is very comprehensive and it shows you exactly which is where each color is, even inside where all the neutrals are. So on the left right here you can see the photo reference for the painting that I'm going to make. This is going to be a 24 by 36, a pretty large size. And on the top I have placed exactly the same way that I place them on my palette all of the colors that I'm going to be using for this painting and their tubes, and I'm gonna show you and explain every single one. Now I placed the black right here in the middle, ivory black, because black will sort of be here. All right, so in my palette I usually will put it all the way here in this corner, but now I'm putting it here just to correlate with the middle of the wheel. All right, and white obviously would be right here. I will put it at the very beginning, but I'm not placing them in here because white is not a color. White is the absence of a color. All right, so it makes no sense to put it on the palette. So I'm going to explain every single one in order. This is Naples Yellow Light by Winsor & Newton. This is Cadmium Yellow Light by Winsor & Newton. This is let's see, I forgot which this one is. Indian Yellow, huh? All right, Indian Yellow. Okay, I can't see when I enhance it, but it is Indian Yellow, and Indian Yellow will be wonderful for making all the transparent colors in the yellows and for mixtures. All right, I'm gonna make it a little smaller so you can all see it, fit the screen. All right, so Indian Yellow, and this one is my favorite, is Transparent Gold Orange by Williamsburg. And I have bad news, it just got discontinued, so I got one more tube and that's it. And I like it in place of Transparent Oxide Red because it's a little bit more pink, a little bit less overpowering than Transparent Oxide Red, but for years that's what I used to use, burnt sienna or Transparent Oxide Red, until I discovered this wonderful pigment. So after that we have Burnt Umber, and Burnt Umber will be substantially in the shadows because Burnt Umber is the darker version of the red. This is Cadmium Yellow, and this is Permanent Orange by Michael Harden, and I love it, and I like it more than Cadmium Orange because it is more delicate and it yields beautiful pinks as well as beautiful oranges. The regular Cadmium Orange by Winsor & Newton was too yellow. Now this one is Permanent Red, and I choose Permanent Red because it's semi-transparent and it is not as powerful, and in this painting there's going to be very little red. This one is Persian Rose by Williamsburg, and it's not necessary and you can probably make it, but I have it, so I'm going to use it for the warm delicate reds that you see in different areas. Now this is Quinacridone Magenta by Winsor & Newton, and I love this one because it's the brightest pink that you can imagine, and it yields wonderful purples and you absolutely cannot make it. This is Cobalt Blue by Michael Harden, and it is very, 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 very cobalt permanent, and it is very transparent, and it's really not necessary, but I'm going to use it because I have it, so why not? And this would be amethyst, which is red purple, and I just ordered it, so I'm going to use it because it looks like a really beautiful purple. But if you don't have it, you don't need to. You can just add ultramarine to quinacridone magenta right here, and it will get you probably the same result. And this is permanent magenta by Williamsburg, and it's another darker purple. And like I say, you can also make it so you don't need to have it, but since I have it, I'm going to be using it, so I'm going to show you exactly the colors I'll be using. And this is my absolute favorite color, is King's Blue by Williamsburg. And this is one of those colors that I don't care what I'm painting, I'm going to find a way to sneak it in, because it makes my soul sing. It's so beautiful, and it yields beautiful greens. If you have a green is too warm, you want to cool it, you add it to the greens. If you have a blue, you want to lighten it without losing intensity, you add it to the darker blues. It's just a delight. This is ultramarine blue, which is a color that I abhor straight from the tube, but I always use it. I have it in my palette, and I have it for the mixtures because it's just wonderful to make. You can make any blues that you want, basically shades greens with this one. All right, this is Viridian right here by Winsor & Newton. By the way, King's Blue is by Williamsburg, and this one is yellow gold by Gamblin. And you can also make that by black and making black and a transparent yellow, but since I have it straight from the tube, that's very useful. As you can see, it's all over this. All right, so how do I go about painting? My thinking approach is, what do I want to dominate in this painting? Well, I want these pinks, all right, because this is on the golden mean. This is the main flower of the composition, and these pinks right here, I want them to dominate. Therefore, since the main color is pink, then the complementary color, which is green, you can see right here, will be the second dominant. But the greens will be more subdued and less saturated, so they don't fight. Both of them cannot be the same saturation. And this is the reason why I'll have very little reds in here, because the reds will fight with the pink. The discord colors or the less pleasing colors will be severely diminished or eliminated altogether. So where do I find them? All right, so if this is the red, this is the yellow, and this is the blue. If you go 4 spaces, you see the discord colors. So 4 places from this one will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this color will fight with this, which is coincidentally the other primary color. You see it? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one will fight with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one will fight for this. All right? So they're going to be very diminished or just eliminated. All right? Now, all of the colors that you see in here, those are the earth tones. Now, the main colors for this painting are going to be, they'll be fine from here to here. Now, in this area, only on the inside. That's why we will have the transparent colors in here. Transparent earth tones, all right? We're not going to be using the straight colors on the outer wheel, because then we will fight with the main color, which will be the pinks that you see here. See? They're right here, all right? And now, there is a lot of greens in here. So brighter greens that are over here will be used sparingly, not a lot, And the main greens that you see here, which are all over the background, they will be toned down dramatically by either adding black or adding the complementary colors or both. So there will be more in the inside of the wheel because the colors on the inside right here are the subdued colors. In other words, if we add a little bit of the pink to that, just we get here and so forth. But that's for another lesson because it will take too long to explain the wheel right now. This is just to give you an idea of how I think about making this composition. So all of these colors that are right here, basically these dark blues, I don't find them. I don't find them in here at all. And even though this is outside and the sky was blue, it is only permeating in here in a very low very low saturation. So we're not going to have any colors that are this bright. Most of it will be inside. The only colors that will be very saturated are going to be my pinks right here. But what is the complementary of these pinks, purples? Yellows right here. And this is why I decided to put all these dead flowers. They're just beautiful next to the pinks because yellow is a complementary of purple. So the yellows in here, they won't be as bright as in the outer. They will be more on the inside, subdued, but they will be a wonderful contrast. They will make a wonderful contrast with the pinks that they are right here. Now I want to show you something right here, and this is the posterized version. The posterized version right here of the original. And if you can see how the colors are all separated, all the values are separated. You see cool, warm, all throughout, and it's beautiful when you're painting. This makes your thinking process much easier because you can see all the shifts in temperature, and it really takes the guesswork out of it. Roses are just so complicated that it's nice, especially in something that appears white, when you can see that there's nothing except white, and you can see all the different hues in here. Now, if I have reduced all these tones and all the colors to 9, where you can see clearly their values. You can go all the way to 20, 25, you can go 5, 6, any color you want, but 9 seems to be not too complicated for me to see, and just enough for me to see the different shapes and the different colors that I see throughout the painting. Now, if this video helps you and you would like to know how to posterize any photo to see values and shifts in temperature, make sure to check out my video on this matter, which I will post soon. So stay tuned because I will make an in-depth video about how to find this in Photoshop, which is the program that I use to better your paintings. All right, so now if you think I'm going to show you one more, which is the printing wheel right now, RGB, all right, that is used. You can see how interesting it is that if I put this side by side with, all right, let's minimize this. I put this one here and I put this one here. This is a regular color wheel. I have, all of these are muted except for the primary colors, which is yellow, red, and blue. I don't believe this at all, and neither did Stephen Quiller, and that's why he came up with the other wheel. Because red is not here, yellow is not here, and neither is blue. Think about it. Red is here. Yellow is here. And blue is here. All right? So the true primaries is there will be pink, yellow green, and bluish green. They're right here. So I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to put this wheel here. And that way you can see exactly what I'm saying. In here, this is permanent rose. He considered a primary color permanent rose. Cadmium yellow pale or cadmium yellow light that leans towards the green. And phthalo blue right here as the primary blue. And this is what the way I really see. And this is why this is the wheel that I started using, and in all my classes that's the wheel that I taught, and I've taught workshops about this. Because this is more true to reality. Think about it. Over here, you see yellow, orange, and over here, you see the orange. And right here, we see the red. Not over here like in the other wheel. So hopefully, this will give you an understanding on why this is the wheel that I use and my thinking process. I encourage you to try this approach in your paintings, and if it helps you, please share it in your comments with everyone, and happy painting!